folks, how y'all doing today? It's me, your friendly neighborhood Stately. This is City Skylines. Welcome to the fair town of good intentions. Little change of pace today. I've decided that it's time to do something about our railroads. Specifically, a small problem here. This line connects to this. It's just this big old loop. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't connect to anything. So we're not getting tourists in by rail from this side of the map, and we got this big useless rail line. So what I'm thinking is we'll connect it to the rail line we actually use up here and put down a station over in the turkey's nest. We have a metro line running here, so I'm thinking we'll put it opposite the metro line, and then we'll be able to have a nice little transfer station so people can come into town, get on the subway, and go where they want to go. And since none of this is connected to anything, I don't think I need to pause the simulation to get this going. I'll just nuke this. Take it from there. It's a really weird little corner here too. I won't be sad to get rid of that. Okay. Let's see. So, let's run the main rail line. Make sure I'm actually using rails, not metro, which would also be rails. Yes, I know. Thank you. Let's just kind of stick with the main line here, and then we'll kind of curve down here like that. So how are we going to get under or over this? Do we go up? I think we go up and over. That's by far the most sensible way of going about this. Something like this, I suppose. Let's make sure we get that support right in the middle where we want it. Very good. And now we'll head back down to ground level. Right about... Actually, do we want to go back down to ground level? Or should this be raised? Well, we'll have to be at ground level for the station. But I think we will go up over the area here so that we can put roads under it. So we'll go like that. Raise this up from, say, here to here, and then we'll come back down. But let's go ahead and put in the train station. We might have to adjust the rails a little bit just to fit properly. And I think we'll put the station right about here so that, like I said, we can have a metro station to complement it. So, standard train station looks like this. Default train station. Let's see about how big it is. So let's pop down a slip road from, say, here to here. Here and down here. Okay, that's straight. Obviously, I'm going to have to delete that to put the actual train station down. I'm just wondering if we need a little more space. Let's give ourselves a little more room here. I want to be able to have some parking and maybe eventually some room for a bus stop or two. So instead of that, we'll do something a little more this. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now, about the actual station. Right about here, I guess, huh? Looks good to me. Just delete a few of these. So we can get a nice gradual turn into it. This is, believe it or not, the easy part. Look at that. Nice gradual curve. Plenty of space to go underneath it if we have to. This is all stuff we may adjust at some point, but we don't have to yet. Okay. So that's the first part. This shouldn't be too hard. We'll run a line from here to... I kind of don't like the way that works, but this should be fine. It's just going to be a challenge to get a proper curve going here. Okay, let's do this. Down to the ground. Don't need to go underground. Oh, why are you doing this to me? Why you gotta be like this? I mean, that's fine, right? Let's make sure it actually connected because we've had trouble with that before. And then the next line will go from here to, well, oh, come on, guys. Don't be like that. From here, maybe. Maybe we get a better curve here. I mean, that's okay. It's a little funky, but I think it'll do, especially since this is like out in the boonies. It's in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so we need a metro station here, and this is going to affect service, so let us go ahead and pause the simulation, like bam, so, and go underground. Take off a few more sections here. Shouldn't be too hard to put it all back together when the time comes, but for now, this is how we need it to be. I'm going to take off a few more sections here, so I'm going to have to come down to ground level. All right, and an above ground metro station, which oddly shows up under the train stations. We'll use this guy. Simple, straightforward, nothing special about it. Put it right across from here, and we'll put a raised crosswalk down or something. You know what? I think I did that wrong. Let's hold on a sec. You have to actually tell the Metro Overhaul mod that it's a metro station. We're using the new style track on this section, so there's our metro station. And now we shouldn't have too much trouble getting this connected. Or are we? Okay. Why are you being like that? Let's try a straight line. That doesn't really need to be curved or anything. As long as we can get it to connect properly, and it's not. Okay. As long as we can get it to connect properly, he said enthusiastically. Let's try that again. Not a road, a metro line. From here to here. You gonna actually work? What do you mean space already occupied? I know the space is already occupied. I occupied it. Are we having trouble with this? Oh, I'm trying to put train lines down. Oh, jeez. Why didn't you guys say something? No, I'm kidding. I know this isn't a live stream. There. Got it. Okay. Nice gradual slope underground. Clean connection. It's all good. I'm not an idiot or anything. I'm just special. Okay, we like these supports, and this should be pretty straightforward. Only it's not, because that's not a curve. Try that again with a curved section, this time like a smart person would do. There we go. Easy peasy. All right. Now, what we want to do here is, first of all, obviously get some electricity out here. That shouldn't be too hard. We'll run a power line. The hell? Why am I getting a power line 12 feet in the sky here? Why are we snapping to things? It's a shame you can't put down curved power lines. I'll bet you could do pretty cool stuff with that if you wanted to. There. Okay, that should get everything properly powered, and I love it when that happens. We don't need to put in the transfer station just yet. But we do want water for these guys. Like so. All right. Should we have some transfer parking? Should we do like a park and ride kind of thing? I don't feel like there's enough room between the stations to do that. But maybe let's maybe just put something off to the side. That might make more sense. We'll keep clicking things until we accidentally click the right thing, because that's literally the only way my brain works. And we'll pop down some parking. Well, here, I suppose. I kind of want to get this parallel. If we ever decide to expand the line farther outwards, this is obviously going to be an issue, but we haven't decided to do so yet. And if we do, well, we'll just move the parking lot. Let's see if an 8x2 fits. Prop anarchy, please. No, road anarchy. Where's the button for that? Control S. Shift S. Ugh. Now we have to do this again. I thought I sorted this out. I haven't run into this problem in a while. I must have disabled something, because prop and tree anarchy is on, and I thought that's what needed to be set for this to work. Okay, all right. Our train station has some parking. Let's put in a walkway, which lives under parks, obviously, because, hello, play nice. Aren't we like super sluggish today? Anarchy me, my good man. Trying to work out where this will work best. I think maybe this side is a better idea. Well, let me try this side one more time. About that high. We don't want it to be too steep, so we'll go like that. And just do a straight line over everything. Down here. It's maybe a little too far down. Hold on, let's start here. Otherwise, it doesn't know when to terminate. Look at that. My not too steep ramp here is, well, let's just say it's not ADA compliant. Let's see if we can fix that up a little bit. Let's see, I'm having trouble selecting the node. Just lengthen this side. And we'll Make this match. Move this in a little bit, and I think that should just about do it. This tree will have to go. There's no supports under this for some reason. I don't know why. I'm going to go ahead and lower it to something a little more viable. And I think this side needs to be a little lower than the other side. Again, I'm not sure what the deal is with the supports or lack thereof, but I'm also not going to worry about that too much. So in theory, this train station is already usable for tourists coming in. What am I thinking? Of course I want to expand the rail out this way. The whole idea is to connect it to the existing rail line. Alright, well, hopefully the parking lot won't be in the way. Let's go ahead and give our metro line a new stop. This should be easy enough. We just go like that, and like that, and there we go. I don't think we'll get a whole lot of traffic here yet, but it's good to have a transfer area. Okay, and now comes the hard part. We need to get our rail line pulled from here through to somewhere around here, I guess. And, well, that's going to be a little challenging. Let's see what we can manage. Go freehand on this, and we'll kind of just stick to the existing road here. And again, it's entirely possible I'm going to end up raising some of this so that we can have roads running under it, but I'll do that as needed, I think, rather than making a big deal of doing that now. Let's see. I don't like that much. Hold on a sec. Let's go ahead and straight slope this. And turn my snaps back on. Okay, that's a beautifully straight slope. Not. Some of these more onerous trees out of the way. And this is just a disaster waiting to happen, isn't it? Boulders on the rail everywhere. Fortunately, the trains in the real world would behave a lot differently than they do in SimCity when confronted with a boulder in the middle of the track. This looks like it was sabotaged. Okay, did I get everything? No, there's still a couple of trees on the rail there. And another rock, and another tree. Okay, they can squeeze between those two. Bloody hell, I need to be more careful about putting down rail lines in anarchy mode because cleanup's kind of a dog. Alrighty, now what to do about this? Here, let's raise this up a little bit. Oh, that doesn't help. We'll raise this up a little bit too. That looks a little less crazed. Lower this just a tad. Lower this just a tad. And it's still kind of steep, but it's no longer just crazy. Okay, now we need to decide where we're going to go. And I don't seem to have given myself a whole lot of space to cut a giant railway through the middle of town, which, you know, it's not something you really anticipate when you start building. But I think we'll go around. We'll go through here, and then we got this big old mountain. I guess we'll have to go around it. And basically we'll go through Mudslide. I don't think Mudslide's going to get a train station. It's not nearly important enough. So back to the freehand tool. I'm going to turn Anarchy off here, and we'll try to see how this is going to work if we do it more or less naturally. Let's see, where are we trying to get? Obviously, the goal when putting down rails is generally to be as gradual as possible. I think we might actually put down a tunnel here. Shall we tunnel through to about here behind these stations, behind these power stations? All right, let's see. We'll force it into tunnel mode, and it's not really going into tunnel mode. Okay, let's turn tunnel mode off here and see what's going on. I think what we want to do is kind of slide up this hill. Come on. Stop it. I thought I turned that off. Here, regular mode, please. For now. Nice wide curve up to, I don't know, right about here, I think. And this we're going to tunnel. Right about there. Whoa, what the hell just happened? Well, that's not pretty. Okay, give me the underground view, please. And let's see what happened here. I think what happened here is that the game decided to follow the terrain a little too enthusiastically. Is that a tree I'm trying to move? This is what I'm trying to move. So we're just gonna flatten this out as well as we can, because this is weird. And I'm not in it for the weird. I don't know what I'm in it for, but not for the weird. Come on, who comes up with this? Look how far down we have to go just to get this more or less normal. All right, tree, you're in the way. Nothing personal, I'm sure. Fine trees. But you're all in the way. Okay. This one. Much lower. This one. Much lower. This one. Lower. You guessed it. And yes, you two must go lower. Oh, right. Can't select it in underground mode. Something like that. Actually, I'm not even sure we want to come above ground here. Should we run it a little bit further? Because this is pretty steep terrain where it's coming up. Okay, let's just keep going with the underground section and hope that everything goes well. So, why are you not properly snapping? Snap for stately. Something like that. Okay, and this is actually reasonably flat compared with the other section we were working on. So we need to come above ground here. I'm going to go ahead and tear that out, and you can kind of tell that, oh, okay, nothing new here. A couple academic works, parks and parks, that's great. And the idea will be to go from here to, this is really hard to visualize too, to right about here. And let's see where we can make this come above ground. Come on, guys. All right, I might have to do this in a couple of sections here. We need to get this thing untunnel. Oh, I'm still in. That's kind of what I'm looking for right there. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm not sure how this is going to look. Oh. Not good is how this looks. Shoot. Let's kind of... I don't know why you can't have vertical tunnel entrances. Can we just not do that? Is that out of the question? Because this doesn't look great. This is a little better. Maybe if we move it out some. Can we like go into bridge mode or something? Well, let's see what we can do. I don't want to get too hung up on a single thing here. Although obviously I'm pretty skilled at getting hung up on a single thing. That's actually not too bad. Right, crosses over the road nicely. Let's run with this, and then we'll turn the bridge mode off, go back to regular mode, and not worried about the power lines. Those I can always replace. Here's what we'll do. We'll go from here to here, because again with the weird slopes, I'm always getting weird slopes. Even if I use the straight slope tool, I still get weird slopes. And that bugs me. Okay, that's much smoother. Still got plenty of altitude there. This looks pretty good. Let's see if we can just flatten it a tad. That looks better. Okay, all right. Pretty good shape here. So just adjust the angle here a little bit so that we can run it pretty cleanly parallel to the road. And we'll go freehand, and I'm going to lose all of my power lines here, aren't I? Hold on. We are apparently in the wrong mode. We need to be in ground hugging mode. So that's that one, and we'll just run it along here. I think that's pretty good. We might need to lower it there. It's kind of following the road in a strange way. And I think we'll go around the back of this, down through here. That's not perfectly clean, but we can move a few things around and get this straightened out pretty well. Hello? Not like that. Come on, guys. Play nice. That looks pretty good. And for some reason, nothing has lost power in spite of the fact that I just chopped down like 200 power lines. Okay, one more thing. Let's just try a straight line here and see where it'll hook up. That seems okay. Let's get the line smoothed out a little bit. Back to straight slope mode here and see what happens. That's much cleaner. This section here is too high. It's raised on both sides, and I'm entirely unclear on why. But we'll fix it. We can fix it. Can you fix it? Yes, we can. Not quite Bob the Builder, but I can fix it. This whole thing's like way up high for some reason. And there's another tree in the way. There she goes. Does Mudslide have a police station? Can't remember if Mudslide ever got his own police station. We'll come back and take down some more trees later. Now, do we have to come back up? So this is basically at ground level, so everything between there doesn't really need to be raised up either. Doesn't mean it has to be sunken. But this should do just fine. Okay. Now, let's put down some new power lines to replace the ones I inadvertently destroyed. And by inadvertently, I mean on purpose. Whatever. That's fine. Okay, and this shouldn't be hard, although let's use the right power lines for it. What do you guys think? Shall we not mix and match our power lines? There we go. Oh, please don't tell me these windmills have never been connected to my power grid. Suddenly I have a lot more power than I'm using. I keep thinking I'm out of power, and every time it turns out I did something stupid. Well, I guess if you were looking for somebody to play City Skylines competently, you could have done better than me. Is there already some kind of power line here I can hook up to? Thought I had all of this stuff connected. There, okay. Alright. Alright, so that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and clear the tracks. Make sure that all of the tracks here are properly connected, because sometimes it looks like you built a rail line, but you just built some grading. Somewhere about 30 episodes ago I did that. Go on, go through the archives. I'll bet you won't find it. But it's in there. Alright, now we have our tunnel here, and that's a nice tunnel exit. I am perfectly satisfied with that. And our tunnel entrance here looks fine. And the rest of this rail line looks like it's pretty much ready to go. Let me just clear out the tracks. And hopefully this will give us some more places to start building neighborhoods at some point too. I mean, obviously we're not going to have places that you can only reach by rail, but now that we've kind of cut through this with a rail line, we've given ourselves a bit of a template for where we can expand. Okay. Alright, we have officially done away with all of the trees blocking the rail line. The rail itself looks pretty nice. Oh, that's a cute little view of town from over here with what feels like about 4 FPS. Oh, come on. Look at this. Look how weird and bumpy this is. Stop bulldozering. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot I can do about it either. Alright, I'm going to try one more time to get a straight slope here. Because I don't like the bumpy. Okay, straight slope, glued to the ground from here to here. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, let's just lower this intersection a little bit. There we go. And this is actually also a little too high. Now it's going to be all bumpy again. Oh, and look, we actually got a train going somewhere. This is new and different. Let's see if we can watch it for a minute. Can I even select it for a minute? Yes. And choo-choo. Let's take a ride on our new rail line and see how it looks. Actually, it looks pretty nice, doesn't it? I don't know if we have tunnel interiors. Oh, there's a rock. Whoa! Going all TGV on this now. There's no tunnel interiors, ladies and gentlemen. That's too bad. I'll bet I can find a mod that has tunnel interiors. If you know of one, let me know in the comments. I'll try it out. And here we come. Alright. Whee! Oh, I can kind of just feel my stomach jumping up to my heart there. And we're way out in the boonies now. I don't like this. This bridge should be flatter. It shouldn't dip all the way down and then come back up. We'll go ahead and fix that once we're done with our little line, with our little trip here, rather. Same thing here. It's much higher on one side than on the other. This weird dip has to go, and there's a rock on the tracks, and even more. I thought I got rid of all of the rocks, but there's just still rocks everywhere. And then this. I mean, this feels a little bit roller coastery, doesn't it? And let's see. Here's our station. This is probably an intercity train coming into this station, so I expect it will turn around once it gets there. I don't think there's any through traffic. And there's actually already a lot of passengers here. Oh, no, it's not stopping. Okay. All right. Anyway, so far, so good, more or less. Let's take another trip along the track and get rid of those rocks we saw. Don't mind if the trees, like, lean over the track a little bit. This is probably a bit much, though. There, gone. Any freight trains now too. So I looked at this before and I couldn't quite get it cleaned out the way I wanted to, so maybe we'll revisit it, but I think we'll leave it now. Just because I don't want to have to try to fix the same thing 20 times. Ah, shoot. 20 times in a stream. There goes our rail line, because I'm smart. Straight line. That actually fixed the slope, didn't it? Good. I am pleased. Fix the track. They should make an unnatural disasters expansion for Skylines. Okay, how are we going to fix this? Let's put in a cut for starters. More or less like that. And then we'll raise the end of the bridge up a little bit. More or less like that. And this section here, just a tad. And that is much less silly. We've got a bit of a bump here. And I'm not quite sure why, but it's not too bad, I suppose. This is actually kind of satisfying to do. I'm unconvinced it's very interesting to watch, but I do what I want. That's pretty good. I mean, we could cut straight through it, but I don't think that's necessary. And then over here, we've got this big old dip. We will level this side out more or less. And maybe force it to be a bridge. No, not upgradable. Let's unselect this and see what happens. I bulldozed it is what happens. Okay, that's because I'm smart. I did that because I'm smart. I am not smart. I'm kind of an idiot. It's kind of weird that we have a bridge section there, but not on the rest. I might be able to fix that, but let's get the level sorted out first. Something like that seems about right. I mean, I don't think it's reasonable to go all the way up, because that would be a very high bridge at the end. But what we can do is deepen this cut a little bit, like that, and seems like we have kind of a local minimum here. That looks pretty good to me. I don't want to go completely overboard here. And can we turn that off, please, and turn this on? And yes, that's what I'm talking about. That looks so much nicer than just a flat bridge. Let's do the same thing over here. Don't get me wrong, the Vanilla City Skyline experience is absolutely good fun, but it is so much better when you have this micro level of control over everything. I don't know what I'd do without my Anarchy mods. Honestly, I'm halfway tempted to just raise this entire section, but this seems pretty clean. Okay, let's put down an actual rail line. I think this might end up being a pretty popular alternative to taking the subway, because if you want to take the subway here and go to, say, Squirrel Grove, well, take a look. You would end up having to go on this subway line down all the way around here to downtown Funky Town. There's no through routes here, so you transfer onto the purple line, And you can follow the purple line to here, where you transfer onto the other purple line, and then you take the other purple line to here, and you transfer onto the blue line, and then you take the blue line all the way over here. And you can do it, and I'll bet a lot of people do, but I'm thinking this is just going to be a hell of a lot easier for a lot of people. So, from here, you better not give me any of that junk about not being able to connect like we had last time, because that makes Stately sad. To here, to here, back to here, and then all the way over to here. Excellent. Okay, that is our big old inner city line, and I'm kind of pleased with it. I think it turned out nicely. Everything looks like it's properly connected. Our train line is working. I'm not sure what's going on here, but this rail yard is actually being used, which pleases me. They're not just taking the straight line all the time, so my rail yard looks a little rail yardy. I need some cabooses or something, you know, some buildings to pretty this up a little bit. But that's all very good. Let's check in on the metro line. And I just went straight by it again. Oh. Okay. So we need to make a bypass, because we're getting traffic jams already. Big ones, too. It might just be because a bunch of trains are spawning here. Let's give it a couple of minutes. Well, look at this. So Skylines has an unbunching algorithm, and what that means is that if a train arrives at a station, and this is vanilla, and there's another train too close ahead, it'll wait until there's a specific distance achieved. And we also have freight coming through here. Yeah, we need a bypass. There's absolutely no way we're going to be able to do this without being able to go around. So, default mode. Don't need anarchy on for this, and we don't even need curved tracks, I suspect. We'll go from like here to here, straight line over to here, and we'll hook back up to this, somewhere convenient. And now we'll move it all around by hand so that it doesn't look as ridiculous. Get this much, much closer. Like so, I think, and this over here, might want to raise it up a little bit too, to not cause too many super steep slopes. So let's see. Can I please just raise this? No, thank you. There we go, and that's a tree. Fine, we'll move the tree. Definitely want this to be higher. And perhaps not quite so close. Like that. Again, try to level it all out a little bit. Raise it up. I feel like I might actually be... Hold on, let me bulldoze some of these trees so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, too close. Let's give it a little more space here. We'll go like that. And we'll put that that down there, and that looks pretty good to me. I'm just hoping that these trains are going to be smart enough to use it if they're not stopping here. And I'm not convinced they will be, frankly. They seem kind of stupid. Oh, okay. Let's make this all a little bit more gradual, shall we? Here, we'll have this be more or less a level split. Then we'll raise these up a little bit. And then we'll bulldoze this all and put one straight slope in and hope that it works. Right? That's how we do around here. This is actually higher than the other one. We don't need that. Let's get it down to about the same level, like that. And road anarchy, thank you very much. Straight slope, check. Straight line, check. And we should be good to go here. That is so much cleaner. I love that tool. Doesn't always work the way you expect it to, but when it does, I love it. And now the only thing that remains to be seen is whether or not our through trains are going to actually use it. What we could do, maybe, to motivate them is put down a speed limit here. We'll just slow them down a little bit coming through here, and there's no speed limit on the other line, and there you go, they're already using it. Excellent. Parking lot's pretty full. The metro station is actually getting quite a few passengers. This is basically 100% transfer station. There's nothing really here worth going to, except the train station. And yet we're getting people here going nowhere, I guess. Okay. Why do you not have a path? You. Do you have a path? Oh, they do. Okay. Why would you not stay on the subway for one more stop? I think I know why. The subway station doesn't really connect. If you're on foot and you go to the subway station, you gotta go all the way around on one of these sides. And I don't think that's especially desirable. So let's put down, and this is gonna piss some people off because I'm about to destroy their homes, but let's put down a few connecting footpaths here. As always, that ends up being this guy, and we need to anarchy this because nothing's going to fit if I don't. Start here and go to here in a nice straight line. Sorry, folks. I know that was your house. You saved up your entire life for it, and this asshole mayor just shows up and demolishes it. I get that that's frustrating. I honestly do, but we need this. I wonder if there's like a victims compensation fund I need to pay into or something for all these poor people who just lost their houses to my footpath madness. Having a little autosave moment there. Okay, that's pretty good. This is decent. Put one more here. Just try to squeeze it in between the zones as much as I can. And then here, we already have a connection because people can go through the park. So hopefully that will make life easier for pedestrians using that metro station. They won't have to use this one and walk all the way. Well, I guess there's roadside parking. I don't really have a problem with that. So just to finish things off here, let's put down a couple of, I don't know, office buildings along the rail line here. I imagine this is reasonably desirable real estate, and then we can have maybe a couple of shops here by the station. Nothing special, just a few stores for people to shop at while they're waiting for their train, a little kiosk or something. Because, you know, this will be valuable real estate. A lot of people passing through. And I think that's going to do it. I'm going to call that a pretty successful episode. We got a major new rail line going here. We're still hemorrhaging money, by the way. But I'm sitting on 10 million, so I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get back into the black. Once we do, I do believe it's time to start thinking about airports. The upkeep on the things is pretty darn high. That's kind of why I haven't done it yet. But if we can get things to be a little more profitable, I think we need an airport, and obviously I'm not just going to slap down an airport. We're going to go do something cool with it. If any of you have experience with the modular airport mods from the workshop, tell me about it. I'm curious. You know what we could also do here at some point is maybe put down a freight station for the ore. We're not having massive traffic here, but I mean there are obviously a lot of these ore trucks coming through, and I'll bet you they're heading to the harbor. I mean the freight terminal. Which isn't too far, actually. That's a pretty straightforward little ride. Oh, these guys are just driving it out. No? Where's this guy going with that? Oh yeah, he's going to the harbor. Which is fine, whatever. But I'm not sure why, because we have this perfectly nice freight terminal here. It does actually get a fair amount of use, so... whatever. Let's wait for the next one to show up and see where it's going. Nobody wants to build industry there. I zoned this a long time ago and I never really looked at it, but there's just no land value. Not enough raw materials. Well, this isn't a huge quarry. I don't think I can make it a whole lot bigger. Okay, you. Where are you going? This guy is also going to the harbor. They all seem to be going to the harbor. Well, my sample size is 2, so I don't want to like leap to conclusions. But now my sample size is 3, and these guys are going to the harbor too. Nope. Where are you going? Oh, he's taking this out of town. He's going way across the map with that ore. All right, folks, successful episode. I hope you enjoyed watching me mess around with rails. We'll do it all over again soon, but in the meantime, thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd like that very much.